Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install all the required packages for a GlusterFS server as well as GlusterFS client. So let's begin. For the lab demonstration, I have 3 machines. Let's check the operating system. For checking the operating system, I will see the content of /etc/os-release. The output is showing that the operating system installed in this machine is CentOS 8. Let's check another one. This is also CentOS 8. The client machine is CentOS 7. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen first. Now let's move to the next step. Before installing the packages, we need to add the required repository in the system. First of all, let's check if there is anything installed in the system regarding Gluster, and to check all the available packages in this system, I will use rpm-qa. QA stands for query all, and if I hit enter, then it will display me a lot of packages which I do not want. So to filter the output, I will use grep -i. I would ignore the case. We did not see any output on the screen. That means there is no any package related to Gluster installed in this system. Okay, let's check on other 2 machines as well. In Gluster server 2 also there is nothing. Let's check what is up with the Gluster client. Seems like there is something related to Gluster installed. Let's remove that, and I'll use yum remove GlusterFS. I'll use wildcard asterisk and press -y. This would erase or uninstall all the things related to GlusterFS. Now if I do rpm-qa, there's nothing related to Gluster. So it means all the 3 VMs are clean. There's nothing related to Gluster installed in them. Okay, fine. Now the next step is we need to add the required repository in the system. So to find the required repository, we need to search. And for searching repository, we have to use yum search command. And I will use yum search CentOS-release-gluster. It's showing me a couple of outputs, and I'm going to install the latest one, which is Gluster 7. And for installing this repository, I'll have to use yum install. So I'm going to hit enter here. It's asking me for the confirmation, and I'm going to hit Y. Now to check whether the repository has been installed in the system or not, we have to use yum repo-list command. Now we can see that there is something related to Gluster. We can see here. It means the Gluster 7 package has been installed. It's not actually the real package, but the repository package. Okay, let's do the same thing on other servers as well. And here also, for installing the GlusterFS repository for CentOS, I will use yum install CentOS -release -gluster7 and press -y. If I press -y, then it would not prompt me for any confirmation. It would directly install. Let's wait a while. Now let's check the repo, yum repo list. By the way, you can use DNF instead of yum because CentOS 8 supports both yum and DNF. Okay, and if I do here DNF repo list, this should exactly show the same output. Okay, and let's move to the client. Command to install Gluster7 repository is yum install CentOS -release -gluster7. And I'm going to append -y so that it does not prompt me for any confirmation. Perfect. Let's see the repositories. It seems like Gluster7 repository has been added here. Okay. Now the next step is we need to install the required package. For server, we need to install server package, and for client, we need to install client package. Let's move to the servers. For GlusterFS server, we need to install GlusterFS -server package, and for client, we need to install GlusterFS -client package. And to install the package, we need to use yum utility. So the command would be yum install GlusterFS -server. I'm going to append y so that it does not prompt me for any confirmation. Let's do the same thing on other two nodes as well. I used yum in the earlier server, so I'm going to use DNF here. So the command would be DNF install GlusterFS -server -y. Y means it won't ask for any confirmation. Enter. For client, it would be yum install GlusterFS -client because it's acting as a client here. Perfect. Now let's check using RPM, which we used earlier. If we use RPM -qa query all and grep -I gluster, then it shows a lot of packages related to gluster. Okay, let's try the same command here as well. It's also giving us an expected output. It's also giving us an expected output. Perfect. Okay, what we did so far, we first installed the repository, then we installed the required package. Now the next thing we are supposed to do is we need to start the service. Okay, so what is the command that is used to start the service? The command is systemctl. Systemctl is start and the name of the daemon. The daemon associated with the GlusterFS is GlusterD. It did not throw any error, so I hope it has started the daemon. To check whether the service has started, stopped, or failed, whatever, to see the status, we need to use systemctl status GlusterD. We have a very sweet output here. It's active and running, but one thing, If I restart this server, then this service won't come up. So I need to apply another command which would make this server survive reboot. It means when the server reboots, the service should automatically come up. And for that I have to use another command, and that is systemctl enable GlusterD. So now if server reboots accidentally, then the service would automatically come up. Fine. Let's move to another server. And now let's start the service and enable the service, but with a different command. And the command is systemctl enable --now and the name of the daemon, GlusterD. What this does is it starts the service and it enables the service as well. That means it survives reboot. Let's check if the service has started or stopped or failed. Let's check the status using systemctl status GlusterD. We have a positive output here, active and running, perfect, from 46 seconds. Nice. We do not have to bother about GlusterFS client because we won't be using it as of now. We'll be using it later. Okay. The service has started. Let's check if the service is listening to some sockets. Okay. And for that I will use netstat. It's a very handy command. Netstat ntlp and hit enter. We have a lot of output and it seems like it's not so pleasant. So I'll filter it using grep. Yes. We can see here GlusterD is the daemon for the GlusterFS and it's listening on 24007. Okay. 0000 means in all the IP addresses. Fine. Let's check on other machine. Netstat ntlp. Here U means UDP. It's not necessary since GlusterFS listens on TCP, but it's a habit, so I always use ntlp. Grep GlusterD. Fine. So it's also listening on 24007. Perfect. So what we did so far, first of all, we added the repository in the system. Then we install the required packages. We started the service and we, at the end, enable the service, and we, as a final check, saw the listening sockets. Okay. So this is it for this video. See you in next one. Thank you for watching.